going live from the office is just really hard. I'm trying. You can just kind of just talk through if you want.
Yeah, I don't think it's on yet. It seems like. Oh, here we go. Now it's going.
Yeah, it's on.
I got it. Just a second. Guys, what's up? First thing I thought of today is I need to definitely make sure to turn my notifications off on Discord because I was up all night because I was getting Discord messages from 3 and 4 in the morning on, and I didn't have the energy to wake up all the way and change them. So I've got to remind myself of that. And then we've got this nice little early slate. Not playing anything crazy today. I don't want to go nuts on this slate, but I do like this getting it out of the way because I want to spend the rest of the day on the Masters and then maybe throw one basketball lineup in some big tournaments. But it's definitely a time to be careful. I'm not able to enter tournaments for some reason on DraftKings right now. It's driving me crazy. And guys, we're live. We're live right now. I'm getting a bunch of questions in Discord. So anyway, what are your thoughts sort of on this slate?
Finish an email. You just start talking.
I just been talking. Okay. Guys, all right. So any QQs, feel free to drop them in. I guess I'll just talk.
Okay. So I guess I'll go. So I think Bieber is the main pitcher. And the other, I have 4 main pitchers on the DraftKings part of the baseball slate. I like Bieber, and then I'm between Ryu, Flaherty, and then I have Nola as kind of a pivot off of Bieber. I'm not getting to Bauer. I think if I'm pivoting off of Bieber up at the 10, over 10K, that area, I just assume play Nola. That was going to be my that was my thing. I'm not playing that many lineups. And with respect to the hitting, first of all, I think obviously the chalkiest and obvious spot is going to be Minnesota. Putting all the righty power, against Matt Boyd, who basically just throws batting practice to righties. And I guess that's where you're going to start. And the other teams I was kind of looking at, actually, I thought they'd project a little better, but they're just not. But I'm just going to probably play them anyways, play Philadelphia. Then there's the win game in Milwaukee and Chicago. And then there's the Toronto-Texas game, which is the final spot. And then the last one I had a little bit of interest in Cleveland.
Yeah, those are the exact same stacks that I would be using, but I would include the Dodgers. I don't know, again, if people want to keep making mistakes and not playing any of these guys, that's fine. I understand that they didn't go off last night the way that they could have, but to get was Muncy 2% owned, Rios was 1% owned, like it was kind of ridiculous. So I'll take the better team. I think that either whether you want to go Bieber or Bauer is your prerogative. I would slightly lean Bauer. I think he's a bad. Like they're both 2 awesome pitchers. I mean, these are the Cy Young winners from last year, so it's not like anything revolutionary. But I'm not afraid of either lineup, particularly they're up against. And Bieber by far pitched, I think, the best game of the season. I'm sorry, Bauer by far pitched the best game of the season, and then he just had a bad inning after being on the bases for about 35 minutes. So I'm playing them together on DraftKings. I'm not messing with the other stuff. I don't think you're getting enough of an edge on getting. There's plenty of cheap bats. There's plenty of ways to do it. I don't find myself desperately needing to spend up, so I'm just playing them together. I'm not even getting creative with it. Flaherty.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going to be this guy. I'm thinking Flaherty would be the other one because I think he actually could outscore them or be right there with them. But I'm always going to – this is what I tend to do, and it works well for me. It hasn't worked – the pitching has worked well this season. My lineups have absolutely been dreadful the last few days, and I just got crushed yesterday. But I agree, Minnesota – I mean, you can do a Minnesota-Cleveland – situation and get those guys in together, and that's sort of what I'm leaning on. And I do like Philly as well, a little bit. I also think that there's look, if you're going to get really creative and want to go for a guy who's got some upside, probably you're reaching with the Matt Boyd part, but I don't think it's like the worst idea in the world. First of all, he was good his first time out. I'll throw that out there. Matt Boyd was like a near Cy Young pitcher a couple of years ago, and he's been pretty bad since then. So when you just stack Minnesota, just be aware there's a flip side to this, that he absolutely could be a weird tournament play that does have strikeout upside against this lineup. So and then I think Flaherty's your best spend down option though, and Maeda's in a great spot and really cheap. So those are the guys that I would be looking at.
What you don't like Ryu?
Yeah, Ryu too. Sorry. Ryu's too cheap. Maeda's, they're all cheap. I mean, so you could definitely justify it. I just don't find myself needing the savings so much. But I'm just going for max upside. But I think Flaherty would be involved in that. And they're all five of those guys are great. If I was playing a bunch of tournaments, they would lineups. They would all be in consideration. But I'm not, so I'm going to stick with the guys who.
Well, so I want to tell you about like kind of a weird sweat. I never really experienced this last year, even though they instituted this last year. So I was treading right on the cash line of the monster on FanDuel. I was really struggling. And then I got lucky. Mookie hit a home run, right, which got me ahead by a little bit. So I was ahead of the cash line, and then things started happening. I had to fade like Colorados and Arizonas, and even with the Abreu Grand Slam, right, that still kept me in okay shape. But then when I had to keep fading Colorado, Arizona, and like the extra inning tilt. It's very similar to when you kind of have an under in like a college football game, and then they go to overtime, and there's just unlimited runs, points they can score because they just keep on getting tied. And it was going on in the Colorado game. Someone would get there, and then they couldn't close them out, and then it kept going to exactly one extra inning. And just in the very, very last freaking bottom of the inning, when Colorado was kind of dead, they were down 3 runs. Freaking Story got like a garbage time run score to push me off the cash line by 0.7 points.
Oh man!
So that was my tilt. But then it was funny. I have to thank. We had this other call yesterday, and we were doing. So in the live thing, I said, listen, I don't know if this game's going to play, but I have a really sexy 6, 7, 8 in Colorado with McMahon, Hilliard, and the other guy that was and Nunez, and I was going to pull it out because with all the threat of rain, but I just literally forgot. And then and all those guys went ballistic. Like one of them had 3 home runs. McMahon, Nunez hit a home run, and Hilliard hit a home run. So that I got like 50th, but that one was stacked with the wrong guys. So it was a little tilting. All right. So into today, you want to like go game by game, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, we could do that, or we can go position by position if we want to too. I'm happy to do either one.
Okay.
I think that both make sense. But go ahead, Shoots.
So your favorites. So you would try to get to the Dodgers.
No, I mean I think that they're one of the best stacks on the slate, and I don't think that they're going to be owned like it. As usual, they've been just completely unowned lately. It's going to be interesting, and also we don't have a lineup out, which is going to even support that more. We might see Will Smith. My guess would be, well, I don't know how they're going to run it, whether they're with Barnes and Smith, and whether or not they're going to start Muncy. So there is some questions there, which are going to keep it even lower owned. AJ Pollock's one of the best plays in the slate, especially on FanDuel. Always been really good against lefties, too cheap. Luzardo is not scary to me, even though I actually don't think he's a bad pitcher, but. Yeah, so I like but my favorites are. I still do like Minnesota. I just was saying that there's a flip side to that script, and I also really like the Indians, and their prices on DraftKings are kind of hard to ignore, and yeah, I mean guys like Josh Naylor and Ben Gamel I like a lot. I mean there's cheap spend downs that I really don't mind using. You have guys like Bowers and even Roberto Perez if you're going to use a cheap catcher. I don't mind. So that's sort of the side I'm sort of going on over there. I'm a little bit interested in on the Minnesota side, if you're going to do it it's nice and warm there in Detroit, by the way. And I think I would go probably lean more toward the bottom of the stack than the top.
I love it. That's exactly what I was about to ask you.
Yeah. I mean, again, we get our boy Sano in there, which we love to have him. So that's the way that I would go with it for the most part. I actually don't love like Polanco's price it makes him really appealing, but he's I'm not like excited about like playing Polanco as like a one-off, but I do think as a part of a stack I really like him. But I like the top part too. I'm probably going to have a split stacks of both.
I like this. First of all, I don't know why DraftKings isn't putting the starters for this game into into the lineups yet. But I see the lineups on the sites. I mean, I presume these are accurate. The ones that I see on the other sites.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Rooker with the IL tag.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be 0%, right? I mean, people going to play him with the IL tag? They never heard of him.
Who are you talking about?
On Minnesota?
Oh, Brent Rooker. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So he's part of that, like, Buxton, Rooker, Sano idea, as opposed.
Why do they have him as out on DraftKings?
I don't know. They have him as IL and then somewhere else, but on the RG whatever, they have him hitting sixth. So.
Okay, but that's a really important point. Like we should
exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking.
Let's check FanDuel here. FanDuel has him out also.
So what do we do? I mean, let's see who Minnesota has starting. I mean, who FanDuel has starting.
Well, obviously the starting lineup has him in it on RG, but we should probably double check the MLB RG page, MLB page. But that is, I mean, it's a direct feed from that page, so I don't know how it would be any different. Let me get that called up. Let's see if we've got anybody in here. What's up, Joe? What's up, RJ? Yeah, White Sox. You can go ahead and what are the White Sox? I didn't even actually consider them that strongly today, and why didn't I? I just didn't have sheets. Did you have any interest in the White Sox? I didn't really think about them too much for some reason. It is a later game. I guess that's actually a good spot. I think that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm not getting Bookers on FanDuel.
Yeah, no, I said that. Yeah, so I'm just checking the real lineups here. So the MLB lineup page has.
Oh, now they have him out. They just changed it. They just changed it in DraftKings.
Yeah, he's out.
Well, thanks. Appreciate that, guys.
I don't know what he was doing in there. Like I didn't. That's weird.
I would have liked him.
Yeah, why not? Sure. But yeah. So my favorite stacks: Minnesota, Cleveland, Philly, and the Dodgers. Those are the. Probably in that order, I would say, actually. But we don't have a Philly lineup yet, do we?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Simmons, Winder, Lindor, Wendell. Boy, if you don't.
Well, you told me a bunch of times that you're not too concerned about Harper against lefties.
Not too concerned.
Okay.
3, 4, 6, 7, or do I want to go 1, 3, 4, 6? I'm playing Sano. I don't care what like he's my guy here. The problem is I'd rather him against the low strikeout guy, but I just love him here. Buxton, Cruz. So I'm going to play Buxton on FanDuel, not on DraftKings, because we get a lot less ownership. DraftKings, he should be one of the chalkiest plays. FanDuel, he will not be.
Where? Which guy?
Buxton.
Okay.
And Kyle Garlick is batting second. Wow. Ugh, that puts me in a weird spot because then I can take Gamble. Well, I can take Gamble out.
Is he one of those guys who's never going to do anything, Garlick, or can he play?
I mean, he's fine. I'm not like overwhelmingly in love with. I mean, he's fine. He's 2,300. You know what I mean? He's fine as part of a stack. You're not using him separately, I don't think. I would use Josh Naylor separately because he's got some serious pop. But yeah, my first thing looks like and look, I'm gonna try to pay up again for shortstop, and I don't care about Seager and lefty matchups. I'm pretty sure everybody knows that. So I will play Seager a little bit, even though he's got the lefty, and he's probably going to be low owned because of it. So on FanDuel, yeah, I really think you got to get Pollock in. I love Pollock today, and it's pretty much the same stacks though for me. Do you want to? Maybe we should go position by position because I feel like I don't want to be talking, all over the place right now.
Bobby, you're not exuding the confidence that I need from you right now.
What do you want it from? What do you
want? You know what I want? I'm telling you, I can sense the difference. I want Bobby giving me the winners today. I want all of it. I want literally Bobby's best ideas, and they're going to freaking come in first place. That's what I want.
Well, I gave some good ways to get different here on this slate. I mean, like,
Well, I'm very greedy. I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, all right. Well, the Dodgers. I mean, it's hard without knowing the lineup, obviously, but guessing that they go Pollock, Will Smith will play pretty much no matter what today, you would assume, because he's only catching 60% of the time anyway. So I love the idea of playing him on FanDuel, where people just don't like to play that position, and I love Seager in the lefty. I think your priorities for Minnesota are Buxton, Sano, Cruz would be my favorites. The problem is on FanDuel, you don't have a lot of – they're all like outfielders like for this team. So it's a little bit tricky to get them in. And by the way, Jose Ramirez is my favorite like overall play on FanDuel. Like him and Pollock.
And what are you doing on FanDuel with pitching? Did I ask you that already?
Bauer. That's it.
Wow.
What? Is there a reason you don't like Bauer?
I don't know. I just prefer Flaherty at 7,900.
You could do that. I'm trying to get the Flaherty's a great play and a great matchup, and Bauer. I like the matchup for Bauer as well. Yeah, I don't know. And
I don't know why. Why do I guess I don't appreciate how close Bauer is to Bieber, I suppose.
But Bauer is I don't know why. Like maybe you could argue the other way around. Why is Bieber so close to Bauer?
All right, fair enough then. I don't know. What do I know, dude? I'm just thinking.
Bauer was the best pitcher. I mean, well, Bieber was the best fantasy pitcher in baseball last year. Bauer was the best pitcher in baseball last year, and he was doing it in Cincinnati, and now he's pitching a game in Oakland. He also was. He has a history of this, whereas Bieber is still younger. Bieber's awesome. These guys are both awesome. Bauer deserves absolutely to be in the same exact conversation as Bieber.
Okay.
But I don't mind that. I absolutely can get on board with the Flaherty thing. You're embracing a little more risk, but it's a great matchup for him. He definitely has the strikeout upside against this team. He was really bad in his first outing. And if you want to pay up, I don't mind using him as your main pitcher pay down. I mean, as your main pitcher on FanDuel. I actually think I might end up doing that in my big lineup because I do want to play some of the bigger bats that I'm not quite able to get to if I don't.
Right, that makes sense.
But I do still think that there's an excellent chance that one of Bieber or Bauer puts up the performance that you might need. And nobody has the leash like these. Well, the Indians have always had the longest leash, but you got to remember Bauer was Bieber before Bieber was Bieber. Like Bauer, that's where he came from. He's got the longest leash in general, I would say, of anybody. So, including Bieber. But Bieber is probably a little more efficient with his. Well, no, they're both incredibly efficient. I mean, I don't know. They're both awesome plays. So, kind of nitpicking here. Did I not mention? I forgot to mention Mookie Betts. Obviously, that's a very strong play. Yeah, trying to combo stack the Dodgers and Twin and Minnesota is having a little bit of difficulty getting it the way that I want, especially without knowing the Dodgers lineup. But we'll know it soon enough.
Well, Mookie's going to play.
Yeah, Mookie will play. Will Smith will play, and AJ Pollock will play. I feel pretty confident about those guys.
Yeah, Pollock at 2,500 is kind of.
He's what?
He's kind of awesome.
He's awesome, man. Like, and no one loves to play. No one wants to play this guy. Like, this guy was a monster last year. Like,
yeah.
And by the way, Muncy can hit lefties for power too. Not just There's this team has got a lot of potential today, and as a team they've been owning Oakland, but just a lot of things didn't quite work out last night. There was a ball, a couple balls ripped up the middle and down the line with runners on base and everything could have kept things going. So many times I thought they were going to explode, but it didn't quite get there. One thing that's interesting we should talk about is this Chicago wind game.
Sure. What do we got?
They're good pitchers, but there's wind blowing. And there's when you have good pitchers in a little bit of a high total, you can tell that maybe picking a one-off from these games. The problem is it's a little bit rainy, so I don't really love the idea of. I'm going to take a quick look and make sure there's no risk of delay here before I say anything else. Because it's blowing out to left at 11 miles an hour, which is significant in Chicago. And let's see. Yeah, I don't think it's any danger of really. Let's see. It would be cool. I think that you can pick a one-off from over there too. The problem is the pitchers are actually pretty good.
Yeah, every time I thought of playing Chicago, I mean, like Woodruff's good, man, and Hendricks is good too.
Yeah, exactly. They're both good pitchers. It would be just one-offs that I'd be looking at, and again, it makes me a little nervous with the weather, but I think that they're still solid enough. It's just that, or like I'm running on, I love Baez. I mean, I've talked about this a bunch. I love playing Baez in tournaments. I love playing Jose Ramirez for the same reason. You have the power and willing, not just speed upside, it's power and willingness to steal upside, which I love. Anyway, I'm very curious to see how the Dodgers lineup shakes out because it's going to end up determining what I end up doing with the rest of my lineup. But as of right now, I'm only playing like a 4-2 on FanDuel and like a 5-2-1 on DraftKings.
And what do you think of whatchamacallit? Toronto today?
I'm just not going to engage in that. I think you could take. I think they're all fine. They're all too cheap on FanDuel. Everyone wants to play Bo Bichette. I might just play Javier Baez instead. But I don't mind he or Simeon. Like none of the guys do I mind, but I'm not making that stack, and that's that's just not the way that I'm building.
Okay.
I really do wonder what the Dodgers are going to do today because they are like Taylor was banged up the other day, so maybe I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, Will Smith, you said was going to play or wasn't going to play?
Will Smith. I would be shocked if he doesn't play because he had double outs to play there. The ones I'm curious about are Seager and Muncy. Because if you're going to give him a break, a day game against a lefty would be the time to give him a break. But do they want to do that?
Yeah. By the way, I'm completely confident in I wasn't even being sarcastic in my commentary yesterday about Seattle's 118 wins or whatever it was. That's going to be long gone this year.
I mean, I'll tell you, right, this team is good, right? Like you do get the feeling when you watch them that it doesn't feel like the other team has much of a chance.
They're just long gone. I'm telling you.
It's if they and they have to really, but even if they don't. But the thing is, I was gonna say they have to really want it, but maybe they don't. Like you know what I mean? Maybe they just get there anyway. They are really loaded.
Yep.
It's in every single capacity. They're great. They're great at everything. Will Smith. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my lineup straightened out because I did accidentally double enter a few. Guys, drop in some questions. I'll answer in just a few minutes. Not even a few minutes, like 1 minute. Let's see. Buxton, Cruz. Bet showed you the upside last night. What was the final score of the game actually last night? I stopped looking because I got frustrated because I didn't have bets in I had a really good lineup going and then Betts wasn't in it. So then all the Betts people passed me up, who was like the only Dodger who anybody really played that much of.
I don't remember what the final score was actually.
It was, I'll take a look because I felt very ready to talk about how great the Dodger stack was early on. And then I don't think they scored a ton more after that. Let's see. Come on. So I'm hoping this day slate gets me out of my little funk. I haven't won in baseball. It's only been a couple days, but you get really like got crushed yesterday. So I need to get out of this. I'm ready for this.
What have you been playing? You playing a lot of lineups or a little bit or something in the middle? Or?
No, I actually I've been keeping a more tighter rotation. I've actually gotten a lot of things right even too. I'm bubbling the two bubbles on the 777 with different lineups is painful. You know, and then two with the 555s yesterday. So it's just frustrating and getting a lot of things right. You know, the other day I had Dustin May at 3%, who was the best pitcher on the slate at 6,800. You know what I mean? And I had the stack to go with it. But then the other guys did absolutely nothing. And then I stacked Chicago. They score 6 runs the first 2 innings and then literally go hitless. Oh no, they got 1 hit after in the last 7 innings. You know, and it's just rough business. I think I'm more and more into this Flaherty idea on FanDuel because it really does allow me that full Dodger stack and getting Ramirez and Buxton and the guys I really want. It's weird. It's a little bit messed up that I'm playing as much Sano because there is one, like I want Sano against, I don't care whether he's righty or lefty. I want him against low strikeout guys, and that's not exactly this matchup. But he fits in the stack so well, and the power upside is a little hard for me to ignore. All right. So here we go. We got some questions coming in. Favorite teams to stack so far. I just mentioned them, but I'll run through it again. It's the Twins, Dodgers, Phillies, who I'm not getting to as much in Cleveland. Those are my favorite ones.
Yeah, I'm hand forcing in Phillies actually.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe I should even do more and more of that. I'm just going to take a look at the Philly. It's at 4.39. And we don't have a lineup from them yet, do we? No, not yet. But yeah, Bohm is a great play. They should be fairly low. One thing is you can play Didi in a lefty-lefty matchup too. You'll get a low-owned Rhys Hoskins. I think it's a really good stack. And you've got Real Muto, who no one wants to pay for, and then no one's going to play Harper and a lefty-lefty at 5.6. So I really like that, Sheets. I'm definitely on board. I think if you do go with Minnesota, you kind of want to go with the full stack on DraftKings with the 5-man because, first of all, they have a lot of – like I'm doing – in my main lineup, I'm using Astudillo instead of Garver. And
okay.
Just to, it's a little bit different and whatever. I'm trying to see how many Philly I can get in. I really would love if we had a Philly lineup. That would be huge because that will determine a little bit of what I want. I think that, let's see. McCutchen is way too cheap. Bohm is Bohm is a really good play. We don't even need to go Garlic here, do I? I'd love to know if the Dodgers are playing Seager today. That's really what I'm waiting on. Let's see. Here's another lineup coming in, maybe. Oh, no, that's.
I'll tell you, there's another guy who's kind of cheap from one of those key games that, I mean, you don't really play him all that often, but you get Eric Sogard at like almost minimum price.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the worst.
Might be. He might be the worst.
See, beg to differ. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to getting into this Masters business after we talk baseball. When we're recording. Yeah. To be honest with you, I've been a little surprised that the Dodger run total isn't a little bit higher today. I think if it broke 5, you could see all the ownership there.
Let me ask you something. Isn't that Luzardo guy like not the worst?
He's not. Yeah, but neither is Frankie Montas or Chris Bassett.
I guess.
And the starters haven't gotten by. I don't think so far this year there hasn't been a guy who's done well against it. There hasn't been a starter to pitch well against them. And they're starting to hit home runs now. It's just a nasty lineup. It's the kind of lineup that you'd expect to have a 5-run total most days, non-weather problems. All right. I'm going to see. Do you see any more questions in chat? Because I'm going to jump over in there in a minute, but I'm just trying to double check the starting lineups here.
I have to say, if I don't see anything,
a little wind blowing out in Oakland, not too much, but it doesn't make a huge difference. But I like it. Ball carries a lot better during the day there than it does at night.
Where?
Oakland. Yeah, Oakland. Pretty much all the West Coast places, Oakland, LA. Who are your
Hang on.
Do we have a really cheap shortstop today? Not that I can find.
Sogard shortstop.
What's that?
Is Sogard shortstop?
Ooh.
I don't know.
He's at second base.
Okay.
But I kind of like this. Okay. maybe that can open up where I need to go here because I'm trying to get that Philly thing in, but I can't quite get it in the way that I want to, unless I got cheaper over there. Harper.
Change the FanDuels.
One thing I love about the Philly offense is when they do go off, they tend to go like off. So
Okay.
it's always fun to play them because they're somewhat of a boomer bust offense. And they kind of have been over the last few years. They have like they'll have these 10, 12 run, 14 run games, and then they just have like these two run games where they get 2 solo shots or something like that. And the other thing that's weird about Minnesota is they don't have a shortstop.
No, it's so funny. I was looking for that when I was trying to fill out a stack.
Yeah,
Couldn't find it.
they just can't get it. It's impossible.
I'm going to tell you who's that Abreu can really hit the ball. By the way,
Oh man, he's awesome.
and that Robert can hit the ball too. By the way,
Yeah, I mean, if they
He's
get
always-
this year, boy, Jimenez is healthy and Tim Anderson, and they were my pick this year in the American League. Other than the Yankees, I thought they'd be the second best American League team.
hey, explain to people if they ask the deal with Snell.
Fine, never a great GPP pitching tournament. Never a great GPP play. He hasn't thrown into the 6th inning in almost 2 years. I mean, he hasn't pitched 6. Sorry, he hasn't pitched 6 innings in almost 2 years. So I tend to avoid him for these things. He has a very short leash for the studs. It's a little bit similar to Glasnow, but Glasnow's much more efficient with his pitches, and Snell is really not. I mean, you look at him last time; he only gave up. What did he give up? Anything? This is a great example of what the problem with playing guys like Snell is. He pitched 4.2 innings in a great matchup. He did have 8 strikeouts, so the numbers look good. Gave up no. He didn't even get the chance for the win. Didn't even get 5 innings. So you're not playing Snell, in my opinion. I think it's terrible.
Yeah, well, what I wanted you to get at was that his leash is just really, really.
It's not even the leash. It's just that he just never gets there because he's not efficient with his pitches a lot of the time. He will throw a lot of balls, and he just doesn't pitch long enough. It's not like they're trying to pull him out of the game because he's struggling. It's just that he runs out of his pitches. And obviously he must have been on like an 80-ish pitch limit at his first start because that's all he threw. And they were in the position to win he was in position to get the win. And they didn't let him do it. 1, 2. Garlic. So who did they put in the lineup instead of
Bruckman or whatever his name is?
Instead of him, yeah.
He took Garlic's place, actually.
Oh, Cave at the bottom. Ooh, that's kind of interesting. That is kind of interesting, actually. The Steak Kings was going down for me lately. It's really weird.
Really?
It's all right. If I win today, don't blame me, guys. Sorry, I tried to include you. All right, Philly. All right, if I was going to do that.
I'm probably going to play on FanDuel 1 or 2 kind of spite Met stacks with lefties against Nola.
Well, wait a minute. They were good yesterday, though. You mean like you didn't mean spite because they were good? What did you mean?
They weren't as good. You know what? It's more spite because they were bad for me. Like I didn't exactly get the right guys.
Yeah, I was pissed because I didn't play enough Dominic Smith, but Alonso was great.
Yeah.
That home run with 2 outs in the ninth was big. Didi, Bohm, Real Muto, Studio. Sheets, what's the video that they're all commenting on for? I keep seeing them pop up, but what's the video they're commenting on for?
What are they
for the
saying?
golf? Everybody just keeps entering golf guesses.
Oh, because I did a YouTube video.
Oh, okay.
For the contest.
Oh, nice. Okay, perfect.
Well, I did. So in case they didn't have access to the Discord for some reason, they could post the guesses in the comments of the YouTube channel. I guess that's what they were referring to.
Gotcha. Makes sense. Let's do this a little differently.
JD. Yeah, JD Davis is probably going to be out today because he was he got hit. That was the other tilt. He got hit. He got hit by a pitch in the first inning. I had him like everywhere. He was out of the game.
Oh man.
Yeah.
But talking about that's rough. The real tilt of yesterday for me was that
the NBA.
That's what I was going to say. That NBA was just an absolute madhouse.
Well, I don't know. I played 10 lineups in the slam, and I think I mid cashed them all.
How did you do that?
I don't know.
What am I missing here? What am I missing?
I'll look it up when we do the NBA.
Yeah.
DraftKings I didn't do as well because I had one lineup which did okay.
I'm sorry, I lost you there for a second. What did you say?
No, DraftKings I didn't do as well, but I had one lineup that did okay, I suppose.
Yeah.
So what's this? No, this is wrong. Let's try one.
Okay. I'm going to see if there's any questions in here.
This is like.
Are you going Bauer, Bieber? Most of your line is pivoting off one of them. Yeah, no problem. That is what I'm doing on DraftKings. I find that there's enough value in the stacks that I like to be able to do it, so I'm doing that. And I am going to play some Garver on FanDuel too, hoping he returns to 2 seasons ago Garver instead of last season Garver. Boy, shortstop is just, once you get out of the top, it's really rough business. Unless we want to play Nicky Lopez batting 9th against Bieber. Rough. All right, I'm going to do this. Go back to it. Let me see what I got here.
This is better.
2.
Now I see that. Why?
This is a good slate. I'm not playing too many lineups. I'm not getting crazy creative with it, but it's a really good slate. I might even leave money on the table with Bieber and Bauer. I think I'm still leaving money on the table.
You know what? I was so funny, like how you just kind of knew what I was doing. I actually was concerned that I had too many lineups with all this money left on FanDuel.
No, I love it. I think that's in baseball. I mean, it's baseball, man. It's like golf. It's, you don't need to use every bit of your salary and be good. I'm just debating right now, do I keep up Stack Integrity or do I play a Javi Baez one-off? Stack Integrity would be like keeping my my Didi in the lefty-lefty matchup. The only problem is Didi may not even play.
Why wouldn't he play?
lefty lefty. There's a chance they could, and it's a day game. This is the time when guys would usually rest their guys. That's why not having the lineups is kind of a bigger deal.
Oh, that's annoying.
What Woodruff versus Baez, if there's any BVP history there. Looking for anything.
Yeah, I guess I'm good, right? Until the Philly lineup comes out. That's the only thing I'm gonna have to scramble.
That's exactly right. Well, while we're recording another show and we have to stop you and go, Bobby, you know what? I need a minute.
Right.
BVP. Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna guess that it's pretty bad, but I'm not sure. Yeah, 1 for 10 with 4 strikeouts. Not exactly ideal. Is there a 3,300 shortstop that we like? Really, I mean, shortstop, you need to it's like they're making you pay up. And I missed some guys. Let me know if you guys see anything of it. By the way, I see things coming in from other places that aren't popping up on the Facebook. Oh, there they are. Now they're coming through a little bit. Josh Chisholm. Yeah, I'd like to. I always hate playing players with no power, but that would make some sense. Nice, RJ. I like the 2,000 left over. Ryu and Flaherty. Well, if you're going to play those guys for with 2,000 left over, then I would probably jump up. Tyler Naquin, only hope you can't stop Tyler Naquin. I think he meant you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. Reds winning the Central. Hey, go ahead. You can win the Central, and as long as nobody wins the West. Cave or Naylor. For me, it's Naylor. But I like Cave in general. Lefty spot. He doesn't even usually get in the lineup, which makes me feel good that he'll stay in the lineup. But I think you'd rather play Naylor with more. I think there's power upside. He's also batting 6th rather than 9th. Maybe he doesn't play the entire game, but I do like Naylor individually better. And then I could just play Lindor instead. This is a tough decision here. I mean, I hate it's really weird to hate the mid tier of this so much, and maybe skipping Garlic is the right idea. Well, Jorge Soler, I know it's against Bieber, but he's only 2,800. Jesus.
I guess, but that's a rough spot.
No, I'm not going to play him. I'm just realizing, note to self, Jorge Soler is probably still going to be cheap in his next matchup.
I don't know. They usually I don't know. I've seen all the pricing all these guys down.
He was 2,900 against Kyle Gibson on opening day. So.
Oh my God.
I'm guessing he's probably stayed pretty low.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna unshare my screen.
So you can do your DraftKings?
Let's see if we can do other stuff. Yeah. I mean, no one's really looking at this anyway. They're just listening to us in our faces. So I imagine. Let me
Polanco's been so bad.
What's been so bad?
Polanco. It almost feels wrong to play him, but it also a cheap guy batting 4th in the middle of your stack is tough. Guys, any more questions? I'll get in there and answer them for you. Just let me know.
Moncada. Is this the handedness that we could play Grandal or no? I keep forgetting.
Is the handedness we could play Grandal? Well, first of all, he's been hitting it again. He keeps hitting off the lefties, so it's kind of frustrating.
Okay.
Yeah, it's totally fine. I'm not looking at him at all, but maybe on FanDuel, I'm guessing when you're looking. No? Yeah, this is okay. Yeah, I have no interest, but I get it. On DraftKings, I have no interest, I should say.
Yeah.
Boy, I mean, it's really weird to say that I don't like shortstop today that much, but I guess that means I might end up playing.
I mean, you just play Seager, right? I mean,
that's what I'm doing, but I don't necessarily want to play him as a one-off in a lefty-lefty. But it's fine. It's just not the way that I think is optimal. I keep wanting to play Lindor for Cleveland, but he's playing for the Mets against Nola, and it's not quite the same matchup.
Yeah, it's a little different, right?
Yeah. Bo Bichette. Bo Bichette's got a great matchup. It's just I hate that stadium. He did it 2 home runs last yesterday there though, so he'll be the one I think a lot of people go to. All right, questions.
Any questions?
Not really. It's like some comments. Big D play today is Victor Reyes. Victor Reyes. I like the bold call there, Jim Beam.
Jim Beam was with the Guzman yesterday, right? Who's heard the Guzman?
It might have been him. I loved it. I ended up with Guzman actually. It wasn't enough, but it was nice. Okay.
What else? Well, again, it's that stupid. For me, it's that stupid Mets lineup. I mean, Phillies lineup.
Yeah. McCutchen and Baum would be my favorite 2 plays there. I just wish McCutchen could still hit the ball. It would make me feel a lot better about this wanting to stack them.
I sort of agree with that.
Ugh. What if they bring in Kingery or something today and Didi said, I'm just worried about all of it.
I kind of wanted to play Didi.
Yeah. But Segura will play. Where's Segura supposed to hit today? And Segura, wow, he's just been doing nothing, huh? Jesus. Yeah, Segura definitely could get bumped up in the order today, that's for sure. Never mind about Kingery. I forgot that he was actually dropped. They sent him down to the minors.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good.
My bad.
What was that?
I don't know. Thought that was on your end.
That was a weird one.
Lindor. All right. I personally feel pretty ready. So any questions, guys, I'm happy to answer. Man, you really are. Yeah, Reyes is definitely sneaky. I can't find myself to play him, but you know, it's funny. I always feel Detroit does hit better during the day, but I don't really understand why you're trying to pick on Maeda. He pretty much never gets lit up. right. We good, guys? Guys, please hit the like button before you get out of here. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. And I think we're good to go. Sheets, we can start our next recording and just adjust if we have to.
Let's do golf next.
All right, let's do it. I'm in and I'm ready. So I will send you an invite in just 2 minutes.
Okay.
Good luck, everybody.